There, Chris Assis here. We're going to be working, actually for this week, we're going to be going back and forth between strictly technique and musicality, improvisation, and so on and so forth. So, yesterday, it was a powerful mix. I hope you enjoyed that. Send me your questions, your thoughts. If I understand it's a lot of information to take in, so don't hesitate to send me any questions that you need answered. Maybe a short video. It will help become as specific as you can. The more specific you are, the better answers I will be able to provide for you. And believe me, I'm always very, very glad to do that. So today we're going to go a little bit more technical, and we are going to use these three different elements that we have, three different movements, sorry, that we found, we discovered in our walk. Hopefully that last video helped you become a little bit more aware of them. We will see how they can help us for ochos. I am guessing some of them you already like, oh yeah, this one I figured, like maybe the gentle rotation in the hips, but we'll see how the other ones can help us with our ochos. So I'm going to be showing you in a very detailed way how you can make use of them, so you have balanced ochos. And when we say balance, we mean in terms of muscle, but also in terms of energy. So we're looking to cover both. Here we go. Start with back projections. Pivot and project the leg. Notice here how one hip is moving forward while the other hip is moving back, and there is a little bit of a rotation. So when you're going to take your step, that free leg is going to be stepping right on the middle line. So you don't need to fully pivot, because if you pivot too much, you're going to be heading towards your bar or the wall, or the fireplace. So see, as you can see, my hips are not facing forward. They're facing a little bit towards the fireplace. You can reposition your hands if you feel that you need to. Notice also that my two legs are working together, and they're moving my hips, creating a little scissor. Repeat as many times as you feel that you need to, paying attention to your form and your movement, and especially the coordination between the upper and the lower body, because as you can see, there is an effect in the upper body as well, rotating and a little bit as a little gentle side bend. And here you can see it better. My hips are opening up, and as I'm taking my step, they're squaring off towards the front. So don't start with square hips, because that's going to mean a bigger pivot to start with, which is then going to take you in towards your artificial partner. So let's see. Full pivot. As you can see, my hips are always starting off facing slightly towards my artificial partner, because then the free leg always comes in just a little bit towards the center as you extend. And that's how you keep your balance. You do the same thing at the front. My hips are starting from that same position, facing a little bit towards the fireplace. And you can see it very clearly here, how the hips look for the center line of your body as you extend the free leg. When you take your step, your heel is going to actually align with the center of your axis, and that's going to square off your hips. Let that movement travel up towards the chest, towards the arms, into the neck, into the head, because it's going to help you keep your alignment throughout the step and especially throughout the pivot. It's very important. Make sure that you spend the same amount of time on each side, so you don't do, 10 extensions on one side and just 2 extensions on the other. Make sure it's 10 on each side. Notice here, even though you're thinking, because I know what you're thinking, that my body doesn't have the proper disassociation, notice how that changes when I take my step, which is the vital moment. That's when you actually change your direction. You finish your step and you change your direction with a pivot. So yes, in the beginning, as you project, there might be a little bit of torsion away of your partner. Very, very subtle. You can see it here in the video because it's zoomed in and I'm going slow. But then, after you finish your step, after you actually finish your shift of weight, your body is free to follow your partner's lead. And that's why it's very important for you to have a very clear spotting coming from the eyes, from your head, not to look down, because that is going to affect your body position a lot without you realizing it. Hello again. There are a few things that I want you to have in mind for this drill, even if it's something that you need to work on. First of all, you don't want to feel that your legs are pushing and pulling you all the time. You want to feel that they're struggling, they are the main powerhouse of your movement. You want to bring that the motor up into the center of the body, like right here, around your navel. So then you can free the legs, and this way make them work together to move your hips. So if you bring the motor up, you have a better understanding of where you're directing the movement, and at the same time your legs feel freer but not out of control. So no tension, more control, and a better understanding and better expression of your movement, especially when we're doing ochos. And we want to create this spiral that is vital for what you would call upper and lower body coordination, or as you've probably heard it many times said, is disassociation. I don't want to use this word because it makes you think that your upper body should be doing something that's completely irrelevant, disconnected from the lower body, when there's the connection is actually very, very important for timing, for control, for security, for freedom and movement, and so on and so forth. So this is one thing. Then the second thing is, if you need to go back to our previous video, go ahead and do so, because this movement of the hips that we find in our ochos, this rotation, it is in fact in our walk. We were talking about it yesterday. So go through your walk, find the locomotion, grab the details of that movement, and then bring it in your ocho
in a bigger, like as if you're zooming in, so it's becoming a little bit bigger. It's a clear rotation there, but it starts from locomotion. It's something that your body is used to doing, only now it's bigger, and it's actually creating the base for our rotation. This way your rotations will be feeling a lot more natural, because you'll be more aware, and you'll be starting from a place that you've been before. It's not starting from zero. So that's the second thing I want you to have in mind. And remember, all these things come with practice. You'll find that right spot, that perfect spot that makes your ochos just balanced, energetic, juicy, whatever you want to call them. Maybe I'm pretty sure they're not going to look exactly like what I'm looking in the video, because you have a different body, but those are the same principles. Finding ways to relax the hips, to free the hips, finding ways to have better control, finding ways to have a clear direction so your ochos are not going all over the place. All these things happen with bringing the motor right at the center, right at the core, and finding ways to make them feel more natural, which happens by tapping into your locomotion, something that your body is built to do. So have fun with this, and tomorrow I will be back for more. We will be finishing up the alignment. So have fun. See you soon.